Okay, we're going to turn right here on McKinney Falls Parkway. So let's just kind of regroup here, and let me tell you where we've been so far from the videos that you've been watching. All right, the first video that we watched, coming into the Falls North section of the Cliffs. Okay, Cliffs Keowee Falls North. The second video that you just watched was the east section. Just a few properties there. And this is basically what I call the west section, because we're going to go through some properties that are interior properties here on this side. Most of this road that we're on right now, most of this is conservancy area. So you won't have a whole lot of building, not many home sites here on the west section, probably less than about 20 total that are interior. Now this road will lead you all the way to Jocassee Point Road, which will take us out to the furthest point of the Falls North, which is going to be the J section. So that's kind of where we're heading right now as we're going out this way. Okay. Now, as you come into this part, headed out to Jocassee Point Road, and I'll show you more in a minute when we get out in that area. There's a couple of different ways that you could go out to the J section. Obviously, you could go the same way that we're going right now, coming through the Falls North Gate at Highway 11 and coming out and taking these interior gates out to Jocassee Point Road. Our second option would be, if you're coming from maybe Atlanta, you'd come up from Highway 11 heading north and come out and come up through Devil's Fork State Park through another private Cliffs gate that will take you out to Jocassee Point Road. So now when you get out to Jocassee Point, where we're heading now, that's going to be the furthest point out, and I'll talk about that here more in just a minute. But this kind of drive through this little west section here is kind of like the first drive coming in off the main gate off Highway 11. A lot of conservancy area, not many houses, just a nice scenic drive. As you can see, great road system, great place to get out here and walk if you're a member, to walk through these different sections of the cliffs. Topography is not too bad, so it's a real good place to walk and exercise also. Just a lovely, lovely part of the north end of Lake Keowee. Jim Anthony did a great job when he developed this section of the cliffs to kind of keep a lot of it natural, put it into that conservancy area where you don't have a lot of homes. So I really applaud him for his vision for doing that when he started the cliffs. Okay, here we are. I was talking about, if you were coming from Atlanta, you might want to come into the up through Devil's Fork State Park. So basically, if you would have take the left fork here, that's going to take you out to another gate, which is just right up there. I'm not sure if you can just go ahead and look at this for just a moment. All right. If you were to go left here, that would take you back out to Devil's Fork State Park, because that's the private gate coming into the J section here at the Cliffs, okay? But we're not going to go out that way. We're going to go ahead and go down to the Cliffs J section. So let's go ahead and head this way. Now, as mentioned, this is going to be the furthest point out of the Cliffs. Now, you're talking back into town for shopping. From here, you're going to be looking at about 45 minutes basically to go back into Seneca. Got a couple different options though, as far as if you're on the north end up here where we are. The Keowee Town Market is open, allows you to go in there and buy food and groceries, so that's good. So pretty much carry all the staple products that you might need. And then you also have the Jocassee Outdoor Center. They carry some staple products there also. So you're up here on the north end of the lake, but yet you're not that remote up here. But I tell you though, the feel of this north end of the lake is just fantastic. I mean, I love it out through here. It really feels like, hey, you're getting out to a real mountain feel property. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the J section here. Got about 55 total lots, and most of these here on the water. Got some little different side streets that you'll go down here in the J section. But this is just to give you an overall feel of the community up here on the north end of the lake, okay? Kind of windy out through here. I mean, years ago I used to come up through here and this was all just an old dirt and slightly graveled road. And it felt like you were in the middle of nowhere back then. Of course, there was hardly nothing. That was back in the late 80s, basically. Nice little home there. Should say nice large home there. So we're really kind of entering the J section here on Jocassee Point Road. Like I said, windy and curvy, but hey, mountain property, what do you expect, right? Now we're passing right now just a couple little properties here headed out toward Jocassee Point, which is another little separate subdivision out through here, which is going to be on the right as you're headed out to the J section. Basically right now we're in the J section of the cliffs, okay? Still on Jocassee Point Road. Got some home sites off to the left, got some streets that'll turn off Jocassee Point Road. And of course this road will dead end down at Jocassee Point or Camp Jocassee Point. Now here's Kingfisher Lane, got some waterfront properties down here to the left. Ivoryville, which is another street with waterfront properties. We're really battling the sun this morning, so sorry about that, but hopefully you're still getting a good feel for the neighborhood itself. Right now we're about J20. J21 is where we are right now if you're looking on your map as we're going down the road, just for reference points. All right, now here, if we kept going straight, we're going to go to the old Camp Jocassee Point, okay? But the J section is going to turn here on Peregrine Trail before it dead ends. So let's go up this road here. Pintail Court on your left that we just passed. And these will take us up to some more elevated properties. We're about J35 as we're going through here. It's Red Wing Lane, and basically the neighborhood is going to dead end back here at about I think it's J43, 42, 43 at the end of the cul-de-sac here. Okay. Yep, J43, J44. Okay, just some great properties here at the north end of the cliffs at Keowee Falls North in the J section.